This week on Coffin Fodder, we are chest bursting our way onto the scene to talk about Ridley Scott's legendary horror sci-fi film from 1979, Alien.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
I like to dissect girls.
This is God.
We have such sights to show you.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I see dead red.
Even in hell. Oh, yes. Oh, no tears, please.
They're here.
Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to episode 47 of Coffin Fodder. I am your host, Mike Werby, and I am joined by the cat who has to be saved at all costs, no matter what, Mr. Kyle Mickelbright.
I get to be Jonesy?
Yes.
I get to be Jonesy?
Yes, you saved the meat.
Yes.
God. Oh, I didn't spoil anything, did it?
And the guy who covers himself in white goo when he's threatened, Mr. Bricky Silzer.
Bukat. I want to cover you in white goo.
Yeah. And this week we are here with horror royalty, one of the all-timers. We're here to talk Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yes.
This is one of the... See, we've talked about this a few times on the show. Like the earliest slasher movies. Mm-hmm. This is one of them.
1979. Man, think about watching this. I've said this line to so many movies we've done because we've hit some classics. Think about watching this fucking movie in 1979.
It would have been... Yeah. Oh! I think the only reason it didn't have like such a huge impression, it's very much like Texas Chainsaw, right? The first time you see Texas Chainsaw, previous episode, you've seen so many slasher movies before you saw that.
Yes.
It's not shocking.
Yes.
And I think that I was guilty of that when I first watched this movie, is I was like, I don't get what the hype's about, but that's because all the movies that have come since have been doing this.
Exactly. This is the one this is among the ones that started it, so you're exactly right. So many movies have harkened back to this that many people will find it hard to take much from this because it doesn't do a lot by today's standards. But this is a fucking monster of a film.
It also laid the groundwork for a lot of the sci-fi horror stuff.
Huge.
Event Horizon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like homages to Event Horizon in this movie.
Every space, sci-fi, isolation, life form movie, even the one named Life, harkens back to this.
Yeah.
It almost makes me think that Kyle would like a movie like Event Horizon.
It almost makes me think that maybe space sci-fi horror is my jam.
Is another one, yeah, that's another Kyle subgenre.
Yeah, space sci-fi horror, that's my jam.
Sorry, Mike. What year was Texas Chainsaw? Was that 76?
77.
That was 77? Okay, so this was a couple years after.
Yeah,
this almost feels like a totally different...
I think this is the same year as Halloween as well. I think 79 is also Halloween.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope. Imagine that year, man. Imagine seeing these as your horror movies of the 70s, of the beginnings of the 80s.
The movies that started it all, we wouldn't be having a show if it wasn't for these films.
I was going to say, this movie was inducted into the National Film Registry because it is viewed as so iconic and influential.
Texas Chainsaw's in there too, so is The Shining.
Hell yeah, as there should be. These are big movies, man. Big movies. Launched Sigourney Weaver's career. In fact, she did so good in this movie that it very much became the story of Ripley for the first 4 films. Aliens, Alien 3, and Resurrection.
Hell yeah.
You can also see a little bit of that in Prometheus, too. Even though she's not in the film.
A little bit, because in Prometheus, I don't want to talk too much, because you're right, because in Prometheus, Elizabeth Shaw, one of the main characters, is very much a stand-in for...
That's Mira Botch's character?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly. Which she's fucking killer in that movie.
She's good. I wish she was in more stuff.
We
had her moment after she was in the original Swedish version or whatever of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yes. Yeah.
That was kind of where she blew up.
Yeah. She had a few, and she still does movies. Like she still does great movies. But you're right. She kind of had a span where she was the hot gal in movies, and then
very much like we were talking Micah Monroe last week. Micah Monroe was an actor like that for a bit.
Yeah.
Who was kind of in, she's in this, and then she's in this, and then she's in this, and then she kind of like fell off for a few years, and you know, because there's always a hot new talent that people are kind of focusing on, like an Anya Taylor-Joy.
The It Girl.
Yeah.
Girl. A lot of people would say also Jenna Ortega is one of those. She's in pretty much everything now. So
Samara Weaving.
Samara Weaving.
Just gotta keep talking about Samara Weaving.
McKenna Grace. She started to become like the new go-to in solid core movie girl. Yeah.
I would say very much so that Sigourney Weaver paved the path for a lot of.
Yeah, so this is right after Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis, probably our first really iconic scream queen.
Yeah.
And then right the next year we got Sigourney Weaver as Ripley.
Yeah, and she's young. I didn't look up to see how old she is in this, but
You can tell she's quite young. I would guess like 23, 25.
I mean, I guess I could. Well, we're talking. I guess I could, but yeah, she was young
And they don't really sexualize her until the end of the movie.
until the very end.
Like most of the movie, she's just a trucker chick. And that's what's cool with this movie. Like, I was watching this with my girlfriend last night, and she noted how the aesthetic of this movie is different from your average science fiction movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying to her that, like, even though like I hadn't been a big fan of this movie, I knew a lot about it because I'm just a film nerd.
Yeah.
And a lot of film nerds love Ridley Scott. So you hear a lot about this movie, and what Ridley Scott was kind of doing with this movie was something different. He's giving you kind of like the. Are you guys watching that new Game of Thrones show?
No.
Well, the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it's very similar to this. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is very much boots on the ground. This is how the regular people live
Right.
in this world. Because Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon are the royalty and the upper class and the standing in the back. Whereas Night of the Seven Kingdoms is boots on the ground, regular people, mainly.
Well,
and that's what this is.
Yeah.
Sci-fi.
It's perfect that you say it like a trucker kind of chip, because this is a towing vessel. This is out there to move mining minerals, all kinds of things. This is a resource gathering vessel.
It's what I do right now.
Right.
If that job still exists in like 300 years after the nukes.
This is just a transport ship. These people aren't military. They're just truckers.
So what Mike's trying to say is he's the modern day Sigourney Weaver.
Something like
Yeah, something like that. Not quite as attractive.
We just seen him in his panties too.
Smaller boobs.
debatably.
Actually, before we get into the film, Alien was actually supposed to be a comedy.
Oh.
A movie came out a little bit later starring Arnold. Total Recall was originally a book that they were going to make into Alien, but kind of tie it with an alien instead of what they did with Total Recall.
Interesting. I had never heard such a thing.
I did a little research before I
That's weird. Yeah, because I know Total Recall, I believe, is based on a Philip K. Dick.
It's based on the book.
Will Sell Your Memories Wholesale or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Is that the name of the original story?
Alien was supposed to be that, but with a little bit of a different twist to this.
Speaking of Ridley Scott, he also did another Philip K. Dick book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which became Blade Runner.
Hell yeah. Another fucking absolutely phenomenal movie.
That's another one I have to gonna watch, because that's another movie I watched around this same time period I watched this.
Really?
I was kind of cruising through all the classics.
I promise you will find a new appreciation for it as an older person.
That's another one that people are always like, man, Blade Runner rules, and I'm just like, I just didn't connect with it. I watched it. But sometimes you're just not in the right
That's it.
mood or mind frame. Those are great.
I know you well enough.
I had a lot more appreciation for Alien this time.
Good. I know you well enough that you would love Blade Runner. It's a fucking great movie.
That opening where the letters are coming in as like the title sequence is going, just how it's spelling alien, but it's you only got the A and the end at the end, and then it shows it as like, holy shit. I forgot how cool that was.
That is an iconic opening, because that opening subtly sets the subtext for this movie, which is that they're in space and isolated. That opening, the way it pans across the stars and kind of the galaxy and just the void of space, is very much intentional to the feel and the theme that they were going for in this movie.
At one point during that, Jace was like, and there it is, Aliev.
Eve.
This is one of those legendary horror ones, so I think we can probably like The Shining, where we can play, I think, pretty fast and loose with it.
Yeah.
Zodiac, Texas Chainsaw. Like, one of those ones we're doing where we can probably just play a little fast and loose with it. Yeah.
It is kind of a slower movie.
I think that's part of why it was hard to connect with for me. See, I was doing my normal Mike Warby trick that I do, with movies that don't have a kill right away. And I hit pause, and it was the 57-minute mark.
Yep.
The first death in the movie. So almost almost halfway through the movie before we get our first death.
Well, because, you know, now in this time, we know what this movie's about. We know what comes after it. But, and I mean, the movie's named Alien, but going into it, you maybe don't know what you're getting for an alien. So it keeps that suspense. And I get that people will think it's very slow and it's very meandering. And we've talked tons about movies that take 40 to 50 minutes to introduce their cast and their crew and get going. This movie's going. This movie's moving forward in those first 50 minutes. But you just don't know what you're getting out of it.
It's planting the seeds.
Literally.
And it's doing it. It's doing it really, really well. Again, I think this is a movie that I very much like Texas Chainsaw. The first time I watched Texas Chainsaw, I was like, I've already seen it on the ship before. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Same, and Halloween was the same way for me because I grew up watching Scream and like all these other movies that
So the slasher.
they're sort of riff. Yeah, I grew up watching these movies that are riffing on these movies.
Constantly, yeah. Yeah. So this is a movie that pop culture just absolutely adored. Just about every show has done, like Simpsons, Family Guy, they've all thrown harkens to this movie.
And even if you have, it's one of those movies that's so iconic that even if you haven't seen a single Alien movie, you know exactly what the Xenomorph looks like. Yeah, so everybody knows what the Xenomorph looks like.
And maybe even know that it's called a Xenomorph just because it's so fucking prominent through pop culture.
Well, also, a lot of people, like most people, know the word face hugger.
Yep.
Or chest burster.
Yep, face hugger. Just about everybody's probably seen a scene of the chest bursting happening. Most people know who Ripley is, you know.
It's so iconic.
And even before we get to any of that, it's like you said, it's planting seeds and asking questions. It's laying the ground of, and I love it because the movie's called Alien. It's just one alien. We don't know about more yet. We're not doing aliens. We see that there's other eggs, but it's just the one alien that we're talking about. Before any of that, we see that there's another alien involved when they see the space jockey on the derelict, the engineering ship. Yeah, the engineer. And of course, we don't know anything about that back then. But
It is. They do a really good job of planting the seeds. I mean, anyone who's seen, I'm not going to shock you by saying that Ash is a turncoat and he's secretly an android. Like it's one of the. It's like, wait a minute, Darth Vader is Luke's father. It's one of the worst kept secrets in cinematic history. Yeah. It became like a thing for the entire series.
absolutely.
Where they're gonna plant an android in almost every single movie.
Always.
And you're gonna wait to see who it is.
Every single movie has an android that is the property of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation.
Yeah.
They don't bring any reference to Weyland-Yutani in this. I think it's only...
They do it in there once, misspelled as Weyland-Yutani with a T on the end. It is in there somewhere. I can't remember exactly where, but it is.
Is it probably somewhere on the ship?
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to look for it, but like they don't... I know in the later films they bring a lot of reference to Weyland-Yutani.
Yeah, it's immediately right in the second one. It's immediately right off the bat because they've already established that the company exists and is actively in pursuit of alien life forms.
I'm so glad we don't live in a world where corporations are fucking us every day.
Could you imagine if they only cared that everyone is expendable?
Putting our safety at risk and slowly destroying everything.
In order to advance their own agendas?
Just for them profits, baby.
Thankfully, we have science fiction for that.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean the basic movie starts with the truckers are waking up from cryo sleep. Yeah. And this is not a question I had the first time I was this because I hadn't met the cat yet.
Yeah.
But was the cat also in cryo sleep?
Yeah, we don't know. Us presumably. But was he sitting in a little cryo chamber in his pod?
Later on when Ripley tries to go back into cryo sleep, he hops in with her.
Yeah, I assume that's kind of what it happened the first time.
And yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But it's just the reason why I wanted to ask is it's so much funnier to imagine the little cryo sleep chamber for the cat.
Cat-sized?
Yeah. And it made me think of Austin Powers also.
Oh, it made me...
It's freaking freezing in here, Mr. Biggles. Right there.
He goes from being a hairy cat to a furless cat.
Yeah. There's some very clear 2001. Are you guys 2001 people?
Oh, fucking love that movie.
Oh, I love 2001. But right from the moment when when they're in the cryo chamber, only in the fancier parts of the movie, and also with Ash. Ash very much is giving the HAL 9000.
Absolutely. Well,
I'm sorry, I can't do that, Dave.
yes, they literally have Mother in there too, the ship's AI.
Yeah.
Mother comes back in some of the later films and is a lot more HAL based. Sort of that nasty AI that just is there to do its own thing.
Your typical omnipotent AI that's totally useless, despite the fact that billions and billions of dollars
And AI data band.
trillions of liters of water have been destroyed to create this thing, and it's still fucking useless.
So, in this case, Mother's quite useful for Wayland Yachty.
For the people who created it.
Yeah, I think you get to wake up, you get to see the crew, people we all know and love at this point.
Yeah, we might as well do the broad strokes of the crew, because it's a pretty small cast. It's the 7 or 8 people on the ship is the entire cast of this movie. They're on the ship the entire time. Mm-hmm. This is not Aliens or Alien Resurrection or...
Actually, the cast of this is very small. It's a total of about fucking 12 people or something. It's not much.
So yeah, we've got Tom Skerritt as Dallas, the captain of the ship. He's first billed, which it's so fucking crazy, and it's because this is the movie that made Sigourney Weaver a star.
Yeah, so it wasn't there.
They're not going to top bill her because they want to top bill somebody who people know.
But Ian Holm and John Hurt, they're not over Tom Skerritt.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
John Hurt, Ian Holm, and also Harry Dean Stanton as another character actors in this movie.
Okay.
Who those are actors we would know now. Yaphet Kotto is somebody who really deep film nerds might know. I think he was a James Bond villain maybe in one movie. He's one of those guys.
I think you're right about that.
I think he might have been the bad guy in Live and Let Die. With Baron Samedi, I think he might have been Baron Samedi in Live and Let Die.
He was.
I thought so. Yaphet Kotto was Baron Samedi in Live and Let Die.
Sorry, Mr. Big. Jeffrey Holder was Baron Samedi.
No. So I had the right movie at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're all waking up, and they're doing the classic thing with all the characters hanging out,
Which I love because this is such an iconic part of any sci-fi space horror movie. Yeah. The crew around the table at the beginning.
So you gotta set these characters up so you give a shit when they start.
Of course you. I just love that everything after just did this. Crew having their first crew meal after waking up from cyber sleep, or cryo sleep, or cyber sleep. Who knows? Yeah.
They needed Adventure Horizon.
Yeah,
And also previous episode Sunshine. There's no cryo sleep in that.
no.
But this is very much, as you said, it has become basically the framework for how you do a science fiction thriller or horror film in space.
Yeah. You get thinking of thinking of the much less cool alien movie called Life. Still a pretty cool
Pretty cool movie. It's a fun movie if you want. It's a real fake. Oh, a couple of lives of the marijuana.
Yeah.
But it's not a great film. Skipped over. Kane is the first one to wake up. Is his name Kane?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane. Yeah,
John Hurt is.
John Hurt. Yeah, he's the first one to wake up, and everyone else is. The crypods are open, but he's rubbing the crap out of his eyes, and
Yeah. Everyone's awake doing their crew meet, and they find out they're awake because the ship AI Mother has picked up a beacon somewhere out there in space. Yes, and they have to investigate because it's in their contract that they must, or they forfeit pay. And these are truckers. They're not giving up pay.
No.
We're gonna go get that shit. Some of them don't want to. Parker notably says, no, I don't want to do it.
Funny enough, again, previous episode Sunshine. This is very reminiscent of the plot of Sunshine, where should we go check the Icarus?
Yeah.
Or should we not?
Right. So in that case, it's something completely different. In this case, they won't get paid if they don't, and they're already on their way back to Earth. In this case, they're not really given the option. I mean, Mother's essentially already made up their mind for them.
it was going that direction when they woke up.
That's correct. To planet, and they find planet LV-426. Big deal as the films continue in the future ones. That's where they land. Then find their distress beacon.
And yeah, so what they find there is essentially this is the crashed craft of the engineer, is that right?
Yes, yeah. So we don't know that at the moment. We just know it's a crashed spacecraft. We don't know anything about it.
Yeah, this is like,
Engineers doesn't come into it until Prometheus.
I didn't appreciate this the first time I watched this. The amount of lore building that is happening in this movie.
There's a ton. There's tons of lore building. I think there's books that came out after the fact, but before the prequels were made that illustrate or outline some of those.
Like right from the jump,
Yeah.
we have this crashed spacecraft with an unknown organism in it, and that's how we're introduced to the alien.
And what's
So it is clear that this thing has been created from the very first movie as like sort of like a superhuman, like
because you're shown.
ultimate creature.
Yeah. A perfect orgasm, he says later. I love that you're immediately showing that there's two aliens. There's the big fucking space jockey, and then there's the eggs, which, of course, the face hugger, and we later find out the xenomorphs will come out of. I love it because it's already positing those questions of something bigger, something more.
It's weird because the first time you see the engineer, it looks like a giant, but then when they're next to it, it's I don't know if it's just like a Lord of the Rings like perspective.
It is. I was looking this up. So they built that thing as a set piece, and they wanted to make sure they could show that it was in a ship, that it was in a room on a ship, but they weren't going to build a 360 set around it. So I think they made the prop piece so that they could turn the prop piece around to make it look like the same. There was a 360 wall around it, but they just used the same wall and repositioned the set piece.
Right.
So there's a lot of perspective in it, and
Because when they're next, like when they get close to it, it's only a little bigger.
yeah, it's they do perspective stuff with a child in the suit at one point to show the difference of perspective, of size.
It looks like a gigantic. Yeah, it looks like something that could pick you up and throw you across the room. But then when they're next to it, it's basically like maybe twice the size of a regular.
Exactly. Yeah. Another thing they mentioned that kind of goes out of the window more so once Prometheus comes into play, but they specifically mention it looks like the space jockey is growing out of his chair and melded with the chair, which is melding the alien creature into its ship essentially. And they use the word biomechanical, which comes into play because H.R. Geiger, a Swiss artist who helped work on the design of this film and has inspired and done much of the design for the ships, for the space jockey and the engineers, for the xenomorph, for all this stuff. That was his art style, was melding of life, human life, and machine.
You can definitely see that in the Xenomorph. There's pipes coming out of the Xenomorph, hair, and even the teeth when he's got the
Metallic, right?
yeah, also with the mini mouth that also opens. Yeah, it's literally like, if you look at a lot of his artwork, like there is like humans melted into like naked peaceful. Yeah, it's like everything is melted into a machine.
Oh yeah, his art's fucking sweet.
And everything is a vagina.
Everything is a vagina. There is a number of sexual organs in his art. Yeah.
The face hugger. The face is literally just a vagina with arms.
Yep. And a penis. It has an ovipositor. That's its little thing that comes out to inject the eggs.
One, what is
That the fact that that's bald is fucking insane.
like you can literally see a clitoris
On the face
on the face hugger.
Yeah, when they're inspecting it later in the movie.
When they're looking at it after it pops off, it's like the big old clitoris.
I think in this movie it doesn't have its wanging penis all over the place when they're dissecting it. I don't think you see it. I think it's not until Aliens when you see that it has the ovipositor in its mouth and it's flopping around all over the place. Yeah. Sick shit. What I liked about the landing on the planet too, the thing that strands them on the planet, their giant future spaceship, its landing gear hits what is essentially in size compared to the ship a pebble, and it fucks the whole ship up. That's what strands them on that planet.
I thought they hit like the side of the mountain. No, it's up
landing gear.
Okay, the way it looks like because they're too close to the mountain.
Yeah,
it looks. I thought they hit the core. No, they hit a pebble.
They hit like the tiny little rock, and it fucks up the landing gear, and they're toast.
Our $20 billion, $1 million, $1 trillion fucking spaceship.
Yeah, can't land on a rocky surface.
Well, we live in Saskatchewan. We drive over things that explode.
It's true. It's true. We do.
Yeah, and I don't think I knew necessarily when I watched. I think I've watched the movie in like 2004, 2005, and I don't think I necessarily would have known. I may have because it's like I said, it's one of the worst kept secrets in film history that Ash is a fucking android and he's a turncoat. I think I did know because I had seen Alien Resurrection, and they're doing
Android and everything, and
every movie of it kind of doing that. I think Alien Resurrection was the first one I saw actually.
I believe it's also the first one I saw. It's 97. Unless as a kid I had seen Aliens at one point, I think Resurrection might be.
Yeah, I'm a 12. So this is the movie, like Alien Resurrection is the one that 12-year-old Mike is at a video store just grabbing as something to watch.
I think me too. With Winona Ryder, it was popular at the time amongst kids our age.
Aliens was the first one I seen.
Yeah.
And then I watched this after because it was at Blockbuster.
Yeah, that's I can't remember if it was Aliens first or not, but both were big movies.
I was super infatuated by the movie after seeing Aliens. I was like, I gotta see what else. Like, because I knew there was an original one. I just never watched it. It's interesting.
It's very much the Terminator thing. Like we were talking about Terminator in the previous episode. Terminator is a lot more low scale. It's almost like a science fiction slasher movie. And then the sequel goes fucking balls to the right action.
Which is exactly the...
And that's very much like what we're doing with these two movies.
I've always thought that Alien was actually quite a thoughtful movie overall in its presentation, whereas the sequel, Aliens, was much more of a... I saw someone refer to it as a Rambo in space. It's a pretty good way of saying it.
Yeah, it turns it takes the same idea and turns it into a fucking the term space marine might as well be associated with aliens.
And it really might as well be. Yeah. Most people would think of aliens thinking of the space marine.
Yeah, well, all the stuff after, I guess, Aliens, they're called Space Marines. Like, all the games, I guess even in Aliens, they're called Space Marines.
They literally are.
Yeah. But, like, that also brought into, like...
The establishment of that term.
Yeah, and then, like, that also created stuff for Halo with, like, the Spartans and stuff. Like, Warhammer, yeah.
That's the one I was thinking of, Warhammer, but it wouldn't have been... It's not popular enough that most people would think of Warhammer.
No, I guess Halo would be Gears of War also too.
Tons of different things. Yeah. Because this is where we talk about space jockey. Eventually, the crew finds the first egg, which leads to the first face hugger, which leads to our first insemination.
One of the many early clues that Ash is in on it.
Yeah, this is where you start to see that he might have his own motives and his own directives.
Because Ripley says, we can't let them back on because they're contaminated.
Yeah. But he already knows they're there for that. Mother sent them there.
The whole point is for somebody to get contaminated, to get this thing back.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is exactly what's happening. So he very much wants it there. He's acting separately from the rest of the crew, basically from here on out. Yeah, if not before this either, but definitely from here on, Ash is on his own agenda. He's on the Weyland-Yutani agenda.
The way they embed him so that he can wake up from cryo sleep with them and everything. Like how embedded he is really interesting. And it shows the difference between an android and a robot in this universe.
Yes.
Because you can see him getting nervous. You can see him working himself up. If you had certain points.
Artificial person is what they call themselves. Because they very much were made to be like us. And as the films continue on in their sequels afterwards and prequels and all those things, one of the biggest themes with the androids is that they were always meant to be as close to us as possible, but not too close that we're uncomfortable. They want to feel like they're us, but let us know that they're not quite.
If you know when you're watching this movie, as I said, like, which most people would, that Ash is a robot.
Yeah.
You can see more of the sort of laying the groundwork of, like, him trying to kind of double agent.
Absolutely.
His way throughout this movie.
So exactly.
And it's a long time before you know 100%.
Damn near the end of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in the last acts of the film. interestingly, or maybe not, is they didn't do that double agent thing with the androids in future installments of the series.
Yeah, they used the groundwork of this to play with the idea every year movie.
Exactly. Beyond this, everybody kind of knows the android on board. Yeah, they're introduced quickly as the android on board. Once they get back on the ship, though, the team tries to remove the facehugger from Kane by cutting it off, and that's where we get to see acid blood. A big deal.
As soon as they try and take it off, it tightens the rip around his throat.
It tightens. I also like that even in the very first installment, it's breathing for the person. You can see the lungs on the side of the facehugger inflating with the breath. It's
That you can't take this thing off.
Yeah, and I mean it's not, and the crew notes that it's not there to kill the person, it's keeping it alive.
That is such a smart idea that this thing becomes that it embeds itself into the life system of its host to the point where there's no safe way to remove it.
Oh man, once it's on you, too late.
And then, as you said, when they try and cut it off, the acid starts leaking out. So there's no safe way to remove this one.
If it's on your face, you're fucked. That's it. Yeah.
Well, you're fucked literally and figuratively.
Yeah, you got eggs in your belly.
So yeah, there's sort of an extended period where they're sort of trying to figure out what the fuck this thing is and how to deal with it, and then they kind of fuck off for a bit.
Yeah.
And they come back and it's just gone, right? That's sort of what's happened.
Yeah, it's off of Kane. It is off of Kane, laying on the floor. I think wriggling around or up in the rafters.
Yeah, so it's up in the rafters.
Up in the rafters.
And when Ripley walks by, because they're all looking with their little pen lights.
Yeah, exactly.
The tail from the drops down and hits her and then falls on her where she gets scared. And
do they ice it right then and there? The facehugger get taken out?
No, they take it to the medical vet.
They basically become dormant on its own, right?
Yeah, I guess it feeds and then it lays its eggs and then
Yep. Yeah, interesting. Just like me. And then Kane wakes up and seems fine. He's chilling. They're cool. Yep. They're all sitting around having supper. That's one of my favorite scenes, baby.
Yeah. And boy, oh boy, what a great way to end the movie. Everybody's fine.
Everyone's fine.
I'm so glad everything turns out right too, but
Kane isn't doing so good.
This is a scene that I didn't appreciate how fucking good this scene is.
It's fucking awesome, Mike.
Because it's like the three of us sitting here talking right now.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he just starts twitching out.
Yeah. And violently.
There's a facehugger coming out of my chest if you can't you can't see it. So
we know this is the chest bursting scene, but one of my favorite parts of this scene that the chest bursting is he's as he's kind of convulsing and the crew starts to come around him. Even Ash gets up and says, "Oh, this is serious," and everyone's around him trying to pin him down because it looks like he's having a seizure. Is the stunned look on all their face and the freeze as that first kind of crunch and the blood hits the Kane shirt, and the crew kind of all just pauses for a second. I love that because it's just like,
well, they know what's going on. It's like he shouldn't have ate that weird granola stuff for dinner.
There's a pause, there's a shock of some freeze moments from every.
They're just hanging out, crashing beers.
Yeah. And dude starts having a fucking seizure, and then blood splatters all over his shirt. And then not long after that, we get Mr. Alien popping out of his chest, blood fucking splattering everywhere.
Well, and this is one of those, as Jace clued me in, I'd heard this before, but she reminded me that this is one of those scenes where they deliberately didn't tell the crew, didn't tell the actors
what was coming.
that this is what's going to happen.
That explains the look, because I was like, man, that look of shock and stunned, but it was too real.
They knew that something was going to happen, but they hadn't seen the design. They didn't know what the creature looked like.
Oh, okay.
There was actually a guy under the table where the body was with a puppet.
Oh, cool.
Going like that, moving it, and
sick.
That was what I don't think it was Jim Henson that did it, but it might have been Jim Henson that actually did the baby alien.
Nice.
Because it's also in Spaceballs.
Yeah.
I'm a baby.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right.
No, it's actually the same puppet effect.
Oh, is this
Spaceballs? That is, and this. It's just they put arms and legs on it to make it look a little more comical.
With dance.
Because that baby alien is fucking terrifying.
It is fucking terrifying. It slithers away.
Yeah. Like, it does like a little with its teeth and then like just scurries away with no... You can't see any like feet or arms. It's just like a snail looking...
It is almost comical because it's so fucking weird.
Yeah. Oh no, it definitely is.
Yeah, Parker tries to kill it, but Ash stops him because that's their precious cargo. Can't have that getting aced.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. It's cool the way throughout the movie Ash, the way he's sort of like hiding his true intentions by being like, because this comes back where Ripley is like, if you hadn't fucking broken protocol, and he's like, but his life was in danger. This and that. The way he kind of hides.
Yeah, I was just doing the right thing. I was doing the human thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saving.
The way he hides it underneath the surface the entire time, that it's like it. Again, we know.
Yeah.
That there's something up with this guy.
Yeah.
Because we know, but I think you could easily be forgiven for empathizing with this character.
Oh, for sure, because it seems like he's doing everything right. It does.
Yeah.
At first, obviously, right? It's not until way later we realize this guy's sinister as shit, but
Yeah.
yeah. That's part of what it adds to. It's a 2-hour movie, and I get that it's kind of slow, but it's what adds so much to a second viewing. Even just watching Ash's character throughout the movie, knowing that he's an android and he's out there for a reason.
Did you guys pick up on like the Ash almost being like a Norman Bates style character? I did not like. So like he's following Mother's orders, but Mother's not actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Even though Mother's is essentially AI.
Yeah.
I kind of figure. Oh yeah, he's just doing what Mother told me, but Mother's not telling him. He's just following his own directive.
A little bit, yeah. But we do find that Mother did actually give another directive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was to recover the life form.
What's one of the things that because we've already mentioned the sort of like, oh no, the future of corporations and capitalism, but like I love that when Kane dies, right out the airlock.
Yeah. Fucking see you, buddy.
Off you go. That's the way I want to go. Hero in space.
Yeah.
Well, see you later, pal.
They use a shit out of those airlocks in these fucking.
Well, they say they're fucking movie. They say they're like their whole point is try to, because he's in the aliens in the ducts, Xenomorphs in the ducts. Let's get him into the airlock and just blow his ass out the door.
Blow his ass out the door. That's their big plan. It didn't go well. No. And then they came with the second plan, which was an awful lot. How come the new plan sounds just like the old plan? They're gonna blow him out the airlock for the second time. It works eventually, but we'll get there. We start to see now the grown-up alien.
Yeah, it's crazy how quick this thing goes.
Minutes, it seems.
The gestation period, again, it shows that this is like an engineer working this. Absolutely. Because like nothing gestates that quick. It goes from being a tiny little egg to being like a little thing running around.
Yeah.
To this fucking fully grown Xenomorph within less than 12 hours.
Yeah, they're not waiting long before they start going to look for it. Yeah, absolutely.
They go on their
witch hunt.
Their witch hunt with the prototype version of the scanner.
Yeah, this is the I can't remember what it used. A heat or a life
movement.
It's
a movement sensor. If anything goes in front of like 10-foot radius, it goes off.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense because it's in the air duct.
I think bend some rules. Fucking cats. Yeah. That means their motion sensor and their incinerators.
This is probably the original cat fake out jump scare, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Because that becomes such a staple in horror after this that it's hard to even be shocked when it happens. But I think this is the original version of the cat jump scare.
Yeah,
like where the fake out jump scare where they're like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
Oh, it was just this
cat. Oh no, what's behind? And the cat just watches. He's just like, "Oh, sorry, buddy." Yeah. So they've seen. I can't remember if the crew sees it, but it knows it's out there and knows, or the crew knows that Brett's dead and killed by the alien. They find his body.
Yeah, once the body started hitting the floor, they drop quick.
There's a scene somewhere in there. I believe it's after Brett was the crewmate's name. I think Dallas, the captain, goes to ask Mother what their chances of survival are, and Mother basically just says, "I don't know, man. Good luck. Still up, dog." Yeah,
It's okay, you don't need to survive.
exactly. Yeah, we don't really care. Yeah.
We just want the life form.
Yes, just the life form. And it's right around there where Ripley kind of starts showing some distrust towards Ash and his actions. Starts suspecting that, maybe he's not operating in everybody's best interest.
What is the big giveaway with
Don't remember it's a giveaway. It has something to do with his reluctance to kill or to hunt or find the creature, I think. There's somewhere in there that he's against everybody else on the ship's ideas except for the idea of, no, we should have killed this.
And then they turn on him and they kill him.
Yes, that point. Yeah, which is when we realize that he's got milk for blood and
He needs some email.
yeah.
Milk, jizz, whatever. Again, speaking of very, very obvious sexual imagery.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
The jizz monster.
Did you guys notice after they wake up when they're having the first breakfast, he's drinking milk?
I did not.
Like he's drinking. Well, it's a white substance. I'm assuming it's
Just
milk.
mop up his blood levels.
It's
His engine oil.
because no one else is drinking milk.
They're not sacky little kids at the bar asking for their glass of milk.
Everyone else is smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. He's drinking a small glass of 2%.
Straight edge.
So somewhere in there too, I think before any of this, and one of the biggest things that Ripley finds after her original distrust of Ash is that she also goes to the mother, to the ship's AI, to ask, I forget what she's asking, but she finds out that their prime order, their directive had been changed from recovery / whatever they were doing to recovering the life form. Everything else is secondary, crew expendable. And that's where Ripley realizes, no one cares about us. We're all here for that alien at this point. Yeah. And it's then that Ash comes in and finds her there and realizes she's found this out. And that's Ripley and Ash's confrontation. Parker and I can't remember the other lady's
So that's when he turns on and he starts attacking Ripley.
Yeah.
And then the other two walk in.
his fucking
And between the three of them, they manage to take him out.
to take him out. His fucking freak out after he gets smashed a few times. This is awesome. I love that he's like twitching out like he's a malfunctioning robot. That's fucking sweet.
Do you guys understand what he was trying to do with the magazine? Like he rolled up the magazine to put in Ripley's mouth. He trying to rip off her jaw.
No, he's trying to smother her. He's trying to asphyxiate her with the magazine.
Yeah.
He's trying to jam it down her throat enough
Yeah.
that she can't breathe.
Okay, I didn't get that. I was just laughing. I was like, that's not good.
It's the most. I think he's trying to find the least bloody way to kill her.
Oh, so like she died on her.
Yeah,
Exactly. Because
he wants to be able to kill her and make it look like something, not like somebody smashed her head in, or stabbed her in the face, or blew her head off.
died of some.
But there's also an alien creature running around. He could have just.
Yeah, but in this scene, he's discovered he needs for her to die, but not die in a way that looks like she was murdered necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially because he's right there too. Yeah, it's where he delivers some of the coolest lines of the film too. This is his perfect organism line.
And he doesn't have despite the fact that he is an android, he doesn't have super strength or anything.
He's a little strong. He's a little strong, but he's
But he couldn't just rip her head off.
No, it's not until later where the androids seem to have much more powerful abilities.
Yeah, he's a little stronger than your average person. But he's not. Yeah, he couldn't just rip her apart.
No.
He didn't have the guest strength.
No.
Hit one of my favorite lines is that Ash delivers as he's dying. I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies.
When they sort of fire him back up to get more information.
Yeah, and that's when he drops that line. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. He goes on his little monologue there. Yeah.
Because now he's got nothing to lose.
No. He's already
Yeah, the thing is,
I call toasted, yeah. And then I think the crew decides the alien. This is where everybody agrees, and I can't remember what the ladies, the other gal's name that's left, but we're down with 3 people. It's Ripley, Parker, and Lambert, right? And they decide that no matter what, they can't let the alien make it back to Earth. and that they're gonna blow the fucking ship and escape.
With the shuttle.
Yeah, with their escape shuttle.
So yeah, one by one, like it's bodies hitting the floor. It's like basically every character except for Ripley
Yeah, this
is dead, is killed off within like 30 minutes.
right in that last little bit. Yeah, this is like the last leg of the movie. This is the Hail Mary, essentially. This is where we get badass Ripley running through the fucking ship with her, is it the incinerator she's cruising around with? Yeah, fucking awesome.
It's gonna take me about 20 minutes to make these. Yeah, hard part. That's like the funniest thing.
And she doesn't forget Jonesy. You can't leave the cat.
I love that everybody is looking out for appearance. It's the entire movie. So many characters get killed
Now Jonesy.
looking for Jonesy. Like there's like two different characters who are just like there to find the cat, and then they get killed.
Ripley literally just abandons the other two to go look for Jonesy. She's like, I'm not leaving without my fucking cat. And she does. She leaves with the cat, and the other two are killed. So
Yeah. Also, that cat saved her life too. Mm-hmm. Because she wouldn't have known. Are we at that point now?
pretty lush. Yeah.
Basically,
Ripley's armed to the self-destruct mechanism.
Yeah.
Made it to the escape shuttle with the cat.
Yeah, and well, before like when she's arming it, the Xenomorph is literally the cat goes,
Yeah.
and he's like, what is this?
Hell yeah.
A Xenomorph?
What is this? Some kind of Xenomorph? What are we? Some kind of alien?
I love how cheesy looking the Xenomorph is in this movie. Like there's a couple of really cheesy shots of it.
Yeah, it's literally man in suit. So it looks really straight up and down, whereas in the later movies, it's kind of a little more hunched and creature looking.
Like the especially in particular the scene where it goes
With its like obvious rubber long appendages for gears. Yeah.
The reason they did that is because they wanted the sewer actor to actually have more screen time, because a lot of it was just his face just in certain shots.
Oh yeah.
Also, the guy that plays the Xenomorph is fucking like 6'11" or something.
Yeah, I told you.
Like the dude was supposed to be the Predator too.
Oh, same dude?
I think so. And then they got another really tall, like guy down.
We're essentially at the end anyway. At this point, Ripley, Jonesy, and the alien, as we find out, are on board the ship.
What is the line she says when they're when she thinks the alien is still on the ship?
I don't remember, but it's very much like that.
It's a very rotten hell, you son of a bitch.
Very much.
It's that I can't remember exactly what the line is, but it's very much like she thinks she got him.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that line comes back in one of the later films, either 3 or Resurrection. She drops that same fucking line as a throw. It's a throwback. Yeah, but it's cool. They keep that one. Yeah.
And then in the wires.
Yeah, it's hanging out in a little sleepy spot.
Yeah.
I never quite figured out why it's sleeping.
I think it's amplifying itself.
Hissing.
Yeah.
That was the vibe.
Yeah.
Is that it's hiding in the wires.
It almost looks like a pipe. Like its head looks like a pipe, and it's by the wires. So that's why Ripley doesn't realize that's what it is.
That kind of makes sense, just because it also wants to just escape. They only know survival. Interesting.
And then it lunges out at her. And does she use something cryogenic?
Oh no, it's the pipes. They use like the gas to cool the ship and stuff if something is on fire.
Yeah, she fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
Basically.
I love the scene when after she first sees the Xenomorph, she literally hides in the spacesuits.
I love that too.
And she's trying to get dressed into a spacesuit because something's gonna happen with it.
It's just that one last moment of just quiet tension if she's trying to hide. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's where you get that key. There's some really key shots from this movie that are like iconic horror shots. And the one from that scene is her flinching.
Yeah.
And turning her head away as the alien gets closer to her.
Recreated in Alien 3 as well, by the way. Yeah, that Alien 3 screen is also a big one that people took a lot and use a lot, and you'll see everywhere.
I think that's the one I know more than the original pop. But yeah, she shoots it with a harpoon, or she opens the bay door and shoots it with the harpoon gun.
Yep,
It looks like
it's a harpoon gun. She gassed it with something. It has a tether on it.
So it gets stuck, and it's outside of the ship, kind of just dangling, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna curl up the thing and the fucking jet. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
That scene makes me laugh every time I see it curls under the fucking jet
Fire and just roasts.
Yeah, and she
flies away, logs off, sends her Starship Enterprise captain signing out.
And then she goes back to sleep with Jonesy, and that's the end of the movie, essentially, which sets us up for the sequel.
Yeah.
Sweet movie. You said you liked it more viewing it this time around?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, final thoughts. I really have a lot more appreciation for it this time. I think it's because I've already had these experiences with Texas Chainsaw and how these movies that didn't necessarily vibe with me that much the first time, but that's because I didn't recognize their influence.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
So now that I'm recognizing the influence and being like, oh, this is the thing that laid the groundwork.
Yeah.
All these things. I've gotten better at putting myself into the
time frame of
the time frame that this came out and putting myself into the position of the audience member who would have been in the theater or, you know, in there. I don't know. Did VHS even exist at this time?
I don't think it did. It was still Betamax, and then I think a couple years later it was VHS.
Yeah. So if you were somebody who was watching the Betamax or whatever, yeah, however you were watching this movie back then, I think I've gotten better at putting myself into the position of that. And I think for that reason, I was able to absorb a lot more from it because I was looking at it more from like a legacy horror perspective.
Hell yeah.
And less from just like I've seen this before. But the reason you've seen this before is because this movie set the fucking groundwork.
Absolutely.
For you to see this.
Yeah, I'm very guilty of the same myself, of kind of brushing off the older movies because they're old. It's actually not since doing this podcast and watching some of these OG horror movies and seeing the seeds that were planted so long ago for the movies I know and love now today, that I gain different appreciation for them. Off the top of my head, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I didn't give a shit about that 10 years ago. Now, it's cool to go back and be like, oh man, there's so many references to these movies in the newer movies and so many different things. It's awesome to go back to these and rewatch.
You also see a lot of like Texas is one, or even Alien, where it's like they've got so many films that you don't need to watch every one of them because sometimes they tangent off of each other.
Absolutely.
But they're always good and fun to go watch every one of them.
Yeah, like I said, I watched every single one.
Even Alien Resurrection, a movie that a lot of people think is kind of whatever, I think it's a pretty fun movie.
I think between 3 and Resurrection, they're the least loved and worst reviewed movies, and I still enjoyed both of them. They're still great movies in their own right.
Those are still, yeah, because I've rewatched both movies, and I really like them both.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed watching them.
Is Resurrection the prison colony one? Or is that like 3?
That's 3.
Yeah, Resurrection is,
She dies at the end of 3.
yeah.
And then Resurrection is obviously
Clone Ripley.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I get those two confused at the same time because although there's nothing wrong with the Alien franchise. It's like even the bad movies aren't even bad. They're fun.
You can shove those Alien versus Predator movies up.
They fucking blow. Nope. No thanks.
I liked the first movie because I seen it in the theaters, but I seen the second one in theaters and it was so fucking bad.
So brutal.
They're supposed to be doing a new AVP movie.
I heard the same thing, that they were going to look at doing another crossover.
In this day and age, since we're actually having good people making these movies, it could be. You got Fede Alvarez on Alien, you got Dan Trachtenberg on Predator.
Well, that's the thing, is both of these new, like Romulus did fucking amazing. Prey, which was also a Predator movie, did that twice.
Yeah, it's Dan Trachtenberg.
Oh, is it? Okay, who did Badlands?
He did the last 3.
Oh,
Trachtenberg.
Okay.
Wait, Trachtenberg did Badlands?
He did Prey, Killer of Killers, and then Badlands. Yeah.
Oh, Badlands is really fuzzed up. They made it more Marvelized or Disney, but it's still fun.
I heard it's more quippy and or what.
Yeah, but it's also you're on the Predator homeworld, which we've never really seen.
And I like Elle Fanning.
Me too.
It's fun. Always happy to see Elle Fanning hanging out.
Brady, final thoughts?
So, yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, this is probably one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we've done quite a few sci-fi horror movies. This is the one that started it all, like you guys said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it like a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, this is my favorite horror franchise by a long shot. If we put this in with like Halloween and the Jason movies and so on and so forth, this is my favorite franchise of horror movies.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, even like the Michael Myers and I'm a huge Freddy guy.
Yeah.
Like Freddy's my favorite franchise just because how goofy and silly it gets. But I also like goofy, like cheesy horror movies as you guys.
You do? I do.
As for like just how fucking terrifying this movie is. For being at the time too, like there wasn't anything like this, like Mike said.
No, that's what it's a quiet horror, which I really like.
Yeah, it is. There is, dude. There's almost no music the entire film.
It's a very quiet horror. Yeah.
In space, no one can hear you. Listen with the music. Ooh. Right. Well, that takes us to the end of Alien, and we have a surprise. We were talking behind the scenes, folks, and we decided we're gonna bring it back one more time for Aliens.
Hell yeah, we were.
J.U.'s Cameron.
Yeah, put an S on the end of that alien, baby. More than one this time.
So we were doing action horror last week with the guest, and now we're gonna do it next week with Aliens.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Xenomorph time.
It is. Well, until next week when we're back with Aliens, we will see you in
7 days.
And until then,
Keep your eyes open.
and goodbye. We're out.